I know this is totally cliche, but I'm just gonna say that you'll probably be seeing original music, or more specifically hearing it, because I use an app called BandLab, so this is totally free advertising for them. Um, I don't think there's anything against free advertising. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But yes, I use BandLab. It has pre-recorded loops, otherwise pre-recorded music. You can also add it manually, and you can add effects to your voice. And it is a fantastic app. It took a little bit of time to experiment with it, but once I got it down, it was fairly easy. And it was a little scary because it was something new, and when I have something scary, I'm like, what if I can't do it? What if I fail? But really, if you do your best, there's really no such thing as failure, okay? There's just points where things just don't work out. You laugh about it and you say, well, that didn't work out the way I planned, but let's try it again, shall we? So that's what we do. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep going and keep trying and keep striving to do what I do best, which is completely dive in without any plan whatsoever. Yeah. So that's why I delete so many videos. No, I'm joking. I do delete some videos here and there. If it's not like what the video needs, I might go, that's not exactly a good video. I mean, it's a good try, but let's try something else, shall we? So, yes, that's what you might be looking forward to. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna be looking forward to it because I don't really know how to add music yet, but I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn how I add music to the background, and hopefully at the end of my video. And when I'm gonna learn editing, and then I'm gonna add music at the end of the video. So it's gonna be like Markiplier when they have that music at the end. Be like Markiplier, and it is kind of obsessed with Markiplier, I'm not gonna lie. Not like obsession, like I'm going to find out where he lives kind of obsession. That's a little too far for me. I'm not a stalker. I'm really not. I'm not that creepy, okay? I don't do that. Obsession in my language, in the autistic language, obsession means you have a significant interest in a person or a thing or a certain subject. Sometimes it will be a lifelong interest, other times it will just be a certain period of your life. It can last for years, it can last for months. Sometimes it'll just last a couple of weeks and that's it, and you won't ever think about that person or that subject again. But when autistic people get into something, they get into it. They do. They hyper focus on it and they look at it. And when you have ADHD, even more so. So that's why I say obsession. I don't just say I got special interest like in Markiplier. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say I have an obsession. And most people, when they think obsession, they think, oh, what, like swim fan? No, that's a little too far. I have never stalked anybody, okay? I follow people, and I watch their videos, and I tell them that they're doing a good job, and I am in the nosebleeds, and I say, good job! Yay! I have my little sign that says, yay! That's about as far as my obsession goes, okay? And maybe I might look at the memes that is based on that YouTuber, which I know there's a lot of memes on Markiplier. It's kind of ridiculous. So I'm not gonna lie, but I really would love if Markiplier were to collaborate with one of my videos, but that may never happen. But a girl can dream, I guess. I guess, it's, it's not a big deal. It's just like he's my ADHD autistic idol right now. It's just a dream that may never come true. Oh well. Life goes on, shall we? I have just started these videos, so I'm not going to expect to have an instant collaboration with Markiplier at this time. And it's so ridiculous. Like, one time, I was on the phone with somebody, and I was just talking about how I was starting my career as a YouTuber, which right now it's more of just a hobby at this point. And I said, yeah, there's Jacksepticeye and Stipendium and OR3 and CG5, and do I sound like a nerd yet? And the person's like, yeah, you kind of do, but that's okay. I was like, thank you, Mom. Yeah, I was talking to my mom at the time. Yes, I was. Of course, she's my mother. She's supposed to accept me and love me for who I am, which isn't always the case with some people's mothers. But oh well. Not everybody can love you for who you are, and that's okay. That's okay. As long as you find people that love you for who you are, and you learn to love yourself, that's what's important. That's what's important. So about music, I am a singer. I like to sing. I don't do it professionally. At one point, when I was in school, I think in kindergarten, you know how they say, you're a student that's most likely. Well, I was a student most likely to become an opera singer. I was going to be an opera singer, and I still haven't learned opera, but maybe one day I will learn opera. I definitely have a powerful enough voice for it. Um, Definitely. I love opera, actually. I love uh, I love the three tenors, okay? Please don't ask me to say that word. I'm tired. I don't want to say it. Pavarotti! Luciana Pavarotti. There, I said it. And I probably said it wrong, but oh well. I do like him, and my grandmother had this thing where she would listen to the three tenors like every Christmas. The three tenors Christmas. She loved listening to that, and it is very lovely. I have to admit, I do enjoy Pavarotti, and I really do enjoy opera as a whole. I don't really enjoy the stories and how long they are, but then again, when you find an opera that's really good, it's good, okay? And I'm a weird person. I like musicals, okay? I like musicals. I don't understand people who don't like musicals. They're like, oh, it's a musical. Oh, yuck. And I'm like, do you have no soul? Why? Music is in my blood. It's in my soul. It's part of my being. How can you not like this? But then I calm down and I'm like, of course they have a soul. It's just sometimes there's certain things that don't really need music, and I have to be honest, there's some musicals that are just too musical. They just have too much music involved. It's just like, I'm going to sing about everything, and everything is good, and I'm like, yeah, sometimes I have had that issue where the musical is too musical. It's like, why can't we talk sometimes? Like, why do we have to do that talking, singing thing? I find it to be kind of, that was one of the things. I love Phantom of the Opera. I've been a fan of Phantom of the Opera since I was 13. It's been a long, I adore it. I adore the musical. I've seen the Royal Albert Hall version of Phantom of the Opera, which was spectacular. But the one thing that I did not like, and that this is the only thing that I don't like about it, is that they would do this like toneless talking singing thing. So they'd say, and it was kind of creepy. I'm just gonna say it was creepy. It was normally I love creepy things. I mean, I'm an avid horror fan. And I love the Addams Family. I love creepy things. If you creep me out, I'll be your friend. But um, this was like kind of just creepy in a bad way. It was just like, why? Like in the movie, it wasn't such a in the movie that by Joel Schumacher, who by the way did The Lost Boys. He directed The Lost Boys, so he's, you know, he's a cool guy. Uh, he did The Lost Boys. He's cool. My official stamp of autistic approval. He is cool, okay? So he did Phantom of the Opera, and so they didn't have that. They had actual singing. They weren't just talking in a monotone. They were actually singing. So I appreciated that. And the editing was amazing because you got a 3 hour musical and somehow you edited it to 2 hours. And yeah, that's amazing. They did an incredible job of, and a lot of what's in the movie is not in the musical. So a lot of the lyrics had to be taken out. You know, it was very impressive. I still think it's a great work of art, and I'm not as crazy as I used to be about it, but it's definitely it's one of those things. Phantom of the Opera is one of those things. It's like Harry Potter or Doctor Who or something. You never really get over it. You become less interested in it and you don't watch it as often. But it's never something, it just kind of stays in your soul, so to speak. It stays there. I don't know why, but it just is a part of you. And if it that's what happens when you have these childhood things, is they stay with you forever. It's one of those things, it's like you can't get rid of it. It's something you can't hate. You can't hate J.K. Rowling. Like, I can't. I just can't. I can't. I know there's a lot of controversy involving her, but I'm not going to get into it. That's a whole can of worms I don't want to open right now. But I love her and I respect her, okay? I respect her. I do. Okay? I know she's a flawed human being. We all are, and I don't have anything negative to say about her. I used to in the past, but I'm not. That was the past. This is the future. This is who I am now. So, and another thing is I can't hate Doctor Who. I can't. One of the things is, you know, I'm gonna say, I'm really gonna say something that's shocking. Sorry, I'm very, very sorry. Okay, David Tennant was not the best Doctor. He did a good job, okay? He gave his all. He did what he did best, and I appreciate him and I respect him and I love him as an actor and as a person, and I admire him. I do. I but I think it was so much, I think it was the writing. It was the writing, it was the context, it was just it just he was a good doctor. Okay, he was good, but he wasn't the best, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he will forever be the 10th Doctor, and I appreciate that. I'm glad that we were able to see David Tennant as the Doctor, and that was part of his life, you know, because, yes, but that's no reflection on how I feel about David Tennant. I love David Tennant. He is an incredible actor, and he is fantastic in everything he does, but there are a lot of great doctors out there, and I think he is given a little too much credit. I think Peter Capaldi is a great doctor. I think Matt Smith did a good job. My favorite is Christopher Eccleston, who did the Ninth Doctor. I did like Paul McGann as the Eighth. That was fantastic, but it was just a movie, but it was good. And Tom Baker was great. William Hartley was very charming as the Doctor, being the first Doctor was fantastic. There was John Pertwee, great, very good looking guy. I didn't really like Peter Davidson's version. He was a little bit too egotistical for me. I mean, he was kind of sexist. I'm just gonna say it's a little sexist, which was just that time period where, and yes, he came off as a little sexist. I'm just gonna say, and yes, and then Sylvester McCoy. Sylvester McCoy. Yeah, Sylvester McCoy was very, very funny. So I've seen the older ones. I've seen the newer ones. Peter Capaldi, I think, has become my new favorite because he is so animated. He's so full of energy. He is a great actor, and he just gets you right in the feels. Every episode is just it's raw. I'm just raw. I just am. Anyway, this wasn't supposed to be about that, but anyway, these are my passions, and that's what I mean by obsessions, is that obsessions are things that you can't exactly let go of. And I mean, there's some special interests that will always be near and dear to your heart, but then there's certain things that are recent, which means like Markiplier, that will always just I've I've watched his videos. I think I've watched over 60 of his videos, and I never thought to myself, this is going to be honest, I never thought to myself that I would be watching people game. I always thought, oh my gosh, that's like a waste of time. I'm like, why would you want to watch that? Like games are like a waste of time. Like you could spend your whole life doing that, and then your whole life would just pass you by, and you'd be like, you wouldn't have done anything with your life. So I was like, that used to be me. That used to be me. But then I really explored on YouTube how complex these games are. These games are literal movies, and they have these deep backstories, and they're so complex and so detailed, and it's an art form. I realized that gaming is an art form, and to play the games is a real gift to do. And so the more I explored, the more I found that I was actually respecting these gamers. I realized, because that was how I was raised, that video games were a waste of time. They are a waste of time if you're not very good at them. If you're good at them, yes. And then yes, there are people who take it a little too far. They cut people out of their lives and lock themselves in rooms, and they don't spend time with their family, and they become like recluses, and it's an addiction. And yeah, that there's that extreme. There's always that extreme with anything. And so once I got rid of that judgment, I realized gaming is not just like, it's not a waste of time. It really is an art form, and it's really something that should be appreciated and respected. And I respect gamers. I do. I respect gamers. I appreciate them, and I admire them, and I praise them because they are amazing individuals, and I don't judge them, and I don't think any less of them. If they play games all day for 3 days straight, fine. I am not judgmental of that. And as I said, I grew up in a judgmental environment, and so, but now I I'm not in that environment anymore. I am in a better environment right now, and I don't see people in that judgmental light. I see people as being beautiful. I see people in a positive light, and I see people's inner lights, okay? Because because I'm a good person, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why. I just do. I chose. It was a decision. It wasn't something that somebody had said, hey, Kelsey, you need to stop being so judgmental. I don't think anybody told me that. I think that I genuinely wanted to change, and I did. And the way I did that is I realized I'm not judgmental. It was my environment. It was what was brainwashed, and it was what was put into my head, and I was able to overcome that and just realize that's not me. I'm not judgmental. And I don't have to be. I don't have to be judgmental like the way that I was taught. And so now I'm not a judgmental person. It took some work, it took some practice, it took some effort, it took time, and it was a process. It was a journey that I had to go through. I had to stop judging myself, essentially, too. But once I got to that point, I was at peace, and I was able to just see people for who they were. You know, I got to see the best in people, and that's just what I want. That's what I want to do. see the best in people. So it definitely is a decision. It's definitely something that nobody pressured me into doing. It was something that I found within myself, and that I found outside of myself, and it was good. It was a good thing for me to do. So I was happy. Now I'm very, very, very happy. So yes. So that went all over the place. As you can see, this is what's really you're going to be looking forward to, is me being totally random and talking about a various amount of subjects. Why? Because I'm ADHD and I'm autistic and I'm very creative. And I don't like scripts, and I don't like to be confined to structure. I'm a rebel. I like to do things completely. I just like to do things my own way, you know? And I think I spat at the camera, but okay. That was not my... Say it! Don't spray it! Yes, no, I did not spit on the camera. Oh, good. Goody. Fantastic. Okay, well, alright. So, yeah, if you saw that, please don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. No, okay. It was me. Yeah, I spat at the camera, okay. Okay? I was getting excited, alright? Like, I don't know what my problem is, but I was getting excited about it. So, yeah. Which is really strange because I have a very dry mouth right now. Yeah, so, anyway. So, I'm going to, get on with the rest of my day. And I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I should probably stop making videos by now. Probably won't, but who knows. Anyway, bye!